If the president does not intend, as he's signaled, to take any further military action against Iran, is that vote still necessary?
Absolutely. It's absolutely still necessary. Look, we have to make sure that we are having a full debate on the House floor out in the open. The American people have said very clearly they do not want us dragged into another war. And I just have to take issue with what my colleague Darrell Issa said on that clip that you just played. The truth of the matter is the people that were informed were Republicans. The entire Gang of Eight that should have been briefed did not include the Democrats, who are high-ranking within the Intelligence Committee and also on military affairs. And so it gives me great concern when you have a president that is only briefing one party, when he has surrounded himself with yes men. We knew leading up to this moment that he has removed dozens and dozens of senior advisors within the intelligence and the military community. I am concerned that the people who are advising him are not folks who have the experience and the temperament to meet this moment.
Well, Congresswoman, I asked Darrell Issa about that. I asked him if that was the new normal, because he seemed to think that this was actually something to celebrate, the fact that there were no leaks that came from this mission, knowing that leaks frequently come from Capitol Hill. And I wonder your thoughts on this. The ranking member, of course, on the House Intelligence Committee, Congressman Himes, had no idea this was going to happen. He read about it on social media just like everybody else did. Is this the new normal in Washington?
I fear that this is what Trump is trying to create as the new normal. And look, it's not just about this. It is about the fact that this administration is a complete and total black box. Normally, we would have avenues to get basic information, whether we're in the Judiciary Committee or whether we're in the Budget Committee. We are stonewalled at every possible hearing. And so this is just a continuation of that we will tell the people who are going to give us the answer that we want. And it's just absolutely insulting for Darrell Issa to imply that somehow someone like Jim Himes cannot be trusted. It's outrageous.
Well, when we consider that there are some Republicans, including the likes of Congressman Tom Massey, who have suggested that he does think the president acted unconstitutionally with the events over the weekend, to what extent do you expect these kind of conversations to influence the conduct of this administration going forward? Do you have a real hope in your mind that President Trump may return to Congress if he does decide, indeed, if Iran were to continue to strike, as we saw attempted today, or target other assets in the Middle East, that more military force is necessary, that Congress will be more read in more quickly at that point?
I don't have any confidence in this administration that they will read in Democrats. They have kept us in the dark about so much in the 6 months that they've been in power. But I will tell you this. I am a co-signer on that Tom Massey War Powers resolution, and there are many of my colleagues who feel that this was absolutely an overreach of presidential authority, having these strikes over the weekend on Iran. I know that my constituents are representative of what many of my colleagues are hearing from theirs. They do not want us embroiled in another war. They do not want our boots to be on the ground. And people are deeply concerned about how this offensive strike is going to impact our troops that are stationed all over the Middle East. And of course, we saw that attack in Doha. And so I would like to believe that this administration will change its tune. We are not seeing that, but we're going to continue to make the case that these matters need to be solved diplomatically. This is a highly emotional man who makes decisions on a whim. And I think that we are not safer because of the actions that he carried out without reading in Congress and without consulting people who have been experts in this field for decades.
Well, I know you're speaking out of principle here when it comes to protecting or reasserting Congress's authority when it comes to war powers. I don't think you agree with Tom Massey on a lot of other things. I'm assuming that's the case, Congresswoman.
Politics
so here we are. I just wonder, well, isn't that right? But with that in mind, I wonder if your passion for this topic also means that you don't think this is over between the U.S. and Iran, that a War Powers Act to be signed now might put guardrails on what's left in this conflict.
That's absolutely right. We need guardrails. We need to have a check on the power of this executive. And sadly, my Republican colleagues in many critical instances in the last 6 months have been willing to give over their power and authority. And what that means is they are giving up the power and the authority of the people. We are the chamber that is closest to the people. We are supposed to be representing the needs, the desires, the wishes of the people. And when my colleagues just continue to rubber stamp this administration, but more concerning, give up their power to the executive branch, that isn't making anyone more safe.
And Congresswoman, we just have a minute left here, but knowing as your body works on the will of the people, the Republican majority is suggesting that also needs to take the form of economic measures, fiscal measures like tax cuts through this budget reconciliation package. I just wonder, in our final moment together, what your reaction is to the decision making of the Senate parliamentarian, what's getting taken out of this bill that the House passed.
Yes, well, I'm pleased to see the Senate parliamentarian taking a stand about what can be included and what not, and what cannot be included. I sat in budget negotiations with Republicans, and I know that all the things that we were pointing out to them that would be deeply unpopular with the American people have come to fruition. This is the least popular bill that we've seen moved in Congress, I believe, since 1990 was the report I saw just a few days ago. His numbers are underwater on this bill. This is not a bill that is going to make life better for the least among us and for the middle class. This is a bill that overwhelmingly supports the wealthy at the expense of the rest of us.